Yeah.
All right, so tell me, how did you come to find out about Sylvester Craft's daughter's story? What's going on there?
Yeah, actually, I didn't know about the viral video. I represent the Virginia's 5th congressional district, and obviously I'm here to serve and help people in the district. I got a phone call from a constituent saying there's a guy in Chatham whose daughter is in a hospital. He's a veteran, she's a veteran, and they're having a lot of trouble. So I said, can you somehow get me their phone number? And I called Sylvester Craft up, and as fellow veterans, we speak the same language. And so I got all the information and I got with my chief of staff, and we put together a plan. And I actually personally called the Secretary of Veteran Affairs, Doug Collins, and I've been on the phone with him about 4 or 5 times, trying to make sure. And what I've got is I've got a guarantee that the VA is going to pay for everything to help make sure this veteran, his daughter, and her name is Savali Craft, make sure that she gets transported to the right hospital.
Yeah, and so for those who don't know, what does the VA do? Do they typically help in situations like this? Do they usually cover medical costs and stuff?
Well, I can't get technical on medical costs and things like that. The VA takes care of veterans, and this particular veteran had a life-threatening injury where they shouldn't be with us anymore. But she's a fighter, just like her dad. And they're fighting really hard, and his plea for help and hope has been answered, and they're going to pay for it. They're going to help make sure his daughter is gets back on her feet.
Mhm. Talk about I guess sort of why you, I mean, obviously you're a veteran as well, but why you felt so compelled to help this person. He was telling me how you were really on top of it, calling him, making sure he got the updates and stuff like that. Tell me, why this really is something that you were interested in helping with.
Well, I've been a member of Congress for about a year, and we've been doing this pretty much every day, all day, whether I'm in DC or in the district, constantly making phone calls and emails and letters to help constituents, help companies, to be a representative for Virginia's 5th congressional district. You may remember when the ballistic missiles came into Israel several months ago. We had a young man from Powhatan County and a young man from Liberty University, two separate things. They were in Israel, and their parents called me late at night saying we need help getting our sons out of Israel. And we got one out through Jordan and one out through Egypt just by being on the phone with the State Department and everybody. We had another couple, a married couple, stuck in the Dominican Republic, and they were scared for their life for a situation they were in. And so we're just here to serve. As a military guy, I see this as a way to continue service to our country. But I got to tell you, one thing I learned about Sylvester is he went to a military school right there in uh, it's called Hargrove Military Academy right there in Chatham. He's a veteran, and you could tell he has a good heart. He's a great guy. But no, I love helping people. My favorite things about being a congressman is I don't care what your party, race, religion, or creed is. As a military guy, I fought for everyone. And you can't always help somebody, but when you can, it's pretty cool.
Well, is there anything else that I didn't ask that you'd like to mention?
I just for all the, I've heard since then. I mean, actually, Sylvester told me about the viral video, so then I checked it out, and apparently, people all over the country are very supportive, and I love seeing that. We have such a great country. We're so divided right now, but we don't need to be. If you just look at that American flag, that should be the one thing that unites all of us, because we can disagree without being disagreeable, and it really is amazing what we can achieve when we treat people with respect, put our differences aside, and work together. We can turn a no into a yes or an impossible to a possible. And it just seems like everybody's coming together to support this family, which I just love seeing that.
Yeah, it's really great. Anything else?
I think that's probably it.
All right. Thank you so much, Congressman. I appreciate you making time for me today. And thank you,
Yeah.
Brittany, for setting this up.
Of course.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sarah.
All
Hey,
right.
by the
Have a
way,
good one.
hold on one thing real quick. I would just say
Hmm.
this, just to reiterate.
Hmm.
You had a conversation with Sylvester, is that right?
That's right.
I mean, can't you just tell he has such a good heart?
Yeah, he's really great. He's really awesome. And he really cares about his family and his daughter. And you could just tell from that video too. It was like really just tugging at the heartstrings, just of how honest and empathetic, he is for the situation.
Yeah, he's very genuine. But I think the big takeaway is that he loves his country. He loves his family, and he's a fighter, and he instilled that in his daughter, and she's fighting. And I don't know if I can't go into the medical side of it unless he talked to you about it. but it sounds like she's moving in the right direction.
Yeah, hopefully, and hopefully she gets that. I mean, I think they're still waiting on like a transport situation. But as soon as they can get someone to transport her, hopefully she'll get the medical attention she needs at that bigger hospital.
I just got off the phone with Secretary Doug Collins just before you called me on the Zoom, and we're hoping to get that done today. But the prayers across the country are working, so keep it up. And thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate your time. You have a good one. Thanks so much.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.